Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal compilation video today. We've got two patients in this compilation video. The first patient here, you can see is quite a humid ear canal, this one. So it's very sort of moist in here. When you take a look at this, you've got this sort of very tough external part of the wax here. So almost, we talked about in a video, I think it was Monday, about this kind of husk we had around the canal walls. That's a good description for this. Sometimes we call this, or I call this anyway, like an armadillo wax. So it's kind of hard on the outside and soft and squishy on the inside. So you've got this difficult texture to work with. So we're going to try and use the harder external part of the wax. The difficulty is with a lot of this kind of stuff, when it's all this kind of soft, much softer material on the inside, the outer section that comes into contact with the canal walls tends to dry. So you end up with this really hard kind of crust or husk around the outside of the wax blockage, but then you end up with this very thin, mushy stuff on the inside. Very difficult to remove with either tool, really. So what we're going to do first of all is going to use the Jobson horn here. See if we can free this up a little bit. There we are. It's just starting to pull down. There we go. You can see what I mean now. As soon as we broke through that outer layer, we end up with this very Play-Doh-y texture wax in the middle, which is not ideal for suctioning because it blocks suction really quickly. It's not great for the Jobson horn either, only because what you tend to do is when you're pulling down through the Jobson horn, you just put it like a gully, a groove through the middle of the wax here. So we're just trying to use this outer edge now against the wax, really. We're trying to hold on to this tougher edge and trying to work this down. A little bit of wiggling going on there just to try and get this off the canal wall and draw this down the canal a little bit more effectively. Right, you can see just how sticky that outer section is because it's dried so effectively on the canal wall. If you remember from Monday's video where we had this kind of hard, thin layer of wax and it had stuck all the way down, it means it's really difficult to remove because as much as you wiggle it, whereas that one was quite a hard piece, so we could hold onto it really effectively and wiggle it back and forth and take the whole thing out in one go. With this type of wax, because of the softer nature in the middle, when we're using something like the crocodile forceps here, which worked really effectively on Monday's video, it just kind of breaks chunks off rather than taking it away. So you can see now we've got that little groove around the outside edge. We've popped a little bit of olive oil in here just to try and help to ease this along a little bit. You can see there, can you see that little bit of movement there? As soon as we get a grip on this right side and start to pull, you can see that, what I mean by that, using that outer edge against the wax itself. So we're using that outer edge to hold on to draw this down. Here we are, it's on its way. You can see a lot of this is just about gently wiggling this down, little small movements, and then slowly drawing while you're doing it, which is really difficult to do because you want to maintain your suction grip, but as soon as you move, you run the risk of losing that grip. So it's very, I mean, these are tiny, tiny movements. They look like quite big movements here, but they're such small movements to get this out. So we've got it to the outer part of the ear canal. Let's try and see if the crocodile forceps can take this away. Unfortunately not. So we're going to go in with a Jobson horn now. Yeah, thanks to you guys as well. Every time the Jobson horn appears now, I've got the Mighty Mouse theme tune in my head because you guys keep saying I should put a cape on it because it always comes in to save the day. So here you go. You can see it's just coming away now. There we are. It's just broken away at the top. If we can just get behind that top section and pull from the right onto the left side, it's going to draw it around this corner. There we go. Out it comes. There we are. You can see quite a big old plug there. Lots of this kind of lighter material around the outside. Just little bits of dead skin embedded in, which gives it this lighter appearance. You can see a little bit of redness there to the top left-hand corner where this has actually been sitting and rubbing. Eardrum itself looked absolutely perfect, or really good. So we've got, I'm going to call that an inch because it's only just slightly under. And you've got 2.5 centimeters there. So yeah, quite a bit came out of that ear canal there. So this is the second patient out of compilation. Now this doesn't look like a lot of wax when you first look at it. You can see there's gaps around it. It just looks like a little bit here at the entrance. But patient has been experiencing a little bit of discomfort, some intermittent tinnitus as well, and just a little bit of sort of hearing reduction as well. So what we're going to do here is just lift this up from the canal walls. You can see very slowly peeling it from the entrance. As soon as I peeled that entrance off, the wax became far more mobile. It was moving around a lot more. So we know we've detached it from deeper into the canal here. But it was just a really difficult one to get a grip on because it was a thin plate. Now we talk about using suction. You need a good surface to get a good suction grip on. When it's a very thin surface, as you're trying to, it's best way that way. When you're trying to get a grip on that, you just can't get the suction seal. So you can see what we're doing at the moment is just sort of maneuvering this, but it's really holding on in there. It doesn't want to come out easily. There we are. You can see what I've done is press the front of the wax down to get a grip on that flatter surface edge there. And we'll take a look behind it. You see another little piece further in. Looks like a little bit of dry skin and a little bit of dry wax there up to the top and left-hand side. So this is the piece that was holding everything in. And you can see we've gone for that flatter surface area there. Very gentle wiggling back and forth again here. Pulling down from that top section. You can see that dry skin that's at the top. You can just see this little white layer at the top. That's a piece of dry skin. That's holding all of this in place. It's not really budging. So we've got the crocodile forceps in here now. It's just starting to pull down. It's stretching out from the front. It's not really breaking away. Let's go and get another grip. You can see that to the left-hand side. It's a bit difficult to spot now, but to the left-hand side of the wax, you'll see that little piece of dry skin, that whiter material there. So you can see I'm going in, trying to grab a piece, drawing it further, going back in, trying to clamp a little bit further on. There we go. We've got it now. Out it comes. Look at this as it's coming away. Long ribbon of dry skin behind there as well. So you can see how this was being held in. It had this long piece of skin that was sticking out the back of it, which is why it was quite irritating. Look how long that is. So we got a centimetre of wax and about 2 centimetres worth of that dry skin. So yeah, you've got about 3/4 inch of dry skin, about half an inch. Oh, I said I was doing so well with inches. About half an inch of wax itself. So guys, really interesting one to finish with. So you can see sometimes when you see inside a patient's ear canal, they may not have a tremendous amount of wax in there, but if it's causing that patient any discomfort or irritation or anything like that, it is worth just getting that out sometimes. And you can see why it was causing that when you can see that long skin ribbon that was sitting behind. So that piece of wax would have constantly been moving with jaw movement, blocking, unblocking the ear canal, which is where this intermittent nature to all these problems that the patient was having was coming from. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing it over. As always guys, don't forget to look after yourselves and one another. Oh, if you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. We post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 PM UK time, and I shall see you again on Monday. So have a good weekend guys, take care of yourselves. Yeah, have a good time on the weekend, do some relaxing. I'll see you on Monday.